Welcome back to Average Mike, guys, and today we are continuing on our Sonoma V8 swap build. Welcome back to Average Mike. I am just another Average Mike, and today we are continuing from our last video on cleaning up the frame on our Sonoma S10 V8 Swap. So if you are not familiar with this project, you can click on the link above here just to get you caught up in the last video where we basically got prepared to start really working on this swap. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to clean up this frame a little bit, and I'll show you real quick. I'm going to clean up this frame, get all the wiring out, probably remove the ABS control panel. Basically I want to get this ready. I was hoping to get it the POR 15 laid today, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But we're going to get started. There's a lot more we have to clean out, wiring and some more cleaning of the frame before we do that. So first let's get started with removing the wheels and some of this wiring. Also, we definitely pulled the trigger on our suspension, so we are going to be pulling this steering link. The kit I bought has this steering center link, front or inner and outer tie rods, idler arm, upper and lower ball joints. So we are going to be keeping these upper control arms. We're just going to be removing the ball joints, which may require some drilling out or what have you. We'll see when we get there, but so we will be disassembling those components as well. So let's get started. Let's get the wheels out and see what's going on. Alright, so we have the wheels off. Next step, what I'm going to do is start dismantling the end links. I think I'm going to undo each side here of the tie rods, the outer tie rods, and then this is not connected at all, so we're going to take apart this here because this is all new. It will be new, and then we'll disconnect up here, and that should bring the whole assembly out in one piece. And the reasoning for that is so that when we get the new, this obviously is part of your alignment, so when we get the new ones, we'll make sure that these are the same length once put together. The inner and outer tie rods, once they're put together, they're the same length. That way we should be pretty close to alignment just until we get to the alignment shop when this is finally all over. So alright, let's take that apart. Guys, so we ran into a little bit of an issue. These don't go all the way, these bolts don't go all the way across. They actually have a little bit of an access hole on this side here, and obviously the frame is open down here. So what we'll have to do is get a wrench back in there and hold the other side of these bolts and get those off. Alright, so I was hoping I could just whack this out. I'm gonna have to get a puller, I think, to pull this out. This is the Pitman Arm. There is some rubber in there. You might have to get, this didn't come in the kit. I'm gonna look online and see if we definitely can buy one. Whether or not it's worth it or not, I'm not sure if there's a joint in there that's worth replacing. So I think the next part I'm gonna do is mark up and take off this steering box. It's all in efforts to make the steering. A lot of people complain about the steering sloppiness in these trucks. I've never driven this on the highway, so I don't really know for sure, but I do know that it's old. It's been sitting out in the sun for years, so replacing all this stuff probably not a bad idea, especially since we're at the point we are right now where, you know, everything's open before I put the motor in. So it makes sense to replace all this. I'm going to see how much this is. The steering box, people claim that they're sloppy. Some people say that they're, you know, it's just the way they are, or actually the sloppiness is in all these joints. It's not the steering box itself. There is a ZQ8. You can get it right from Advanced Auto, a rebuilt one. Pretty cheap. Has a quicker steering box in it. I might replace that with this. So for now, I am going to take it off of the frame so I can paint behind it. Obviously, we want to make sure that these line up, so I'm going to go ahead and mark where this lines up, just to be safe. Although we're not going to be turning the steering wheel, so I'm not sure if that's needed. But we got to get these lines off. Actually, the lines are already disconnected because they don't really go anywhere at this point. Everything else is removed. So all we have to do, I think, is just a couple bolts on this side that go all the way through, and that should pop off. And that'll get the rest of our steering stuff out of here. Guys, sorry, camera fell on me, but steering arm, three bolts go all the way through the frame. There is a little, if you saw me, there's a little clamp that goes around here in the steering shaft. That has to come off, and then our whole assembly just came off here like that. So now we're clear here. Some wiring to get rid of. I do want to take off the sway bar. I'm going to be painting that, as well as the end links are getting replaced in that kit. So we'll take the end links off, and then we'll take the whole sway bar down. All right, let's take the sway bar out. All right, so those sway bar links pose a little bit of a challenge. We're going to soak those in WD-40, but what we're going to start working on now is removing this ABS unit. As if you ever worked on brakes, basically you have your master cylinder, which feeds front and rear fluid chambers over to the ABS. These top, I don't know if you can see, but these top two are the inlets from the master cylinder. One's the front, one's the rear, and then you have three on the bottom, 3 lines. One's going to be the front right, front left, and the rear. So we're going to disconnect the two over here on the master cylinder and leave those lines connected to the ABS system here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this, whether this is going to go back or not. I really, without doing any research, should be fairly simple to remove this and just put a simple replacement block. I can't think of what they're called, but a block in to accept the inlet, basically a distribution block to then feed the other 3 lines. So let's work on getting that out, and then we'll hopefully this mess will be gone for the most part, and we can get on some of the wiring out of here. Alright, so as you can see, we got that out. Now we can pull some of this wiring back, and you know, we'll have access to more of this area. We did make a little bit of a mess. That's just still dripping out. But today, that's it for today. I'll hit you back on another day to keep going on this. Alright, we're back another day here, and today we're going to get started. We're pulling this wire, getting all this out of the way, and then we'll start working on removing the hub assembly here. and then it will give us access to the underside of the upper and lower control arms. I'm not sure if I'm going to take those completely off yet. It's kind of a as needed basis, but so let's do that. We'll clean up this wiring, handle both sides here, calipers and knuckle and everything off, and we'll be one step further. Alright guys, so as you can see here, I was able to get the upper ball joint out. This is just hanging now by the lower ball joint. I can't get that. I'm going to need a pickle fork to dry that out. We are getting, like I said, new ball joints upper and lower, so ripping the boot really won't be a problem. I was able to get this sway bar link off. I can't get it through the frame, but I think it's because it's bent back. So I'm going to take off the sway bar link on that side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll finish taking the sway bar off, and that'll probably be it for this video. Whoever thought cotter pins was a good idea? Alright guys, so upper ball joint off the knuckle, the nuts off of the lower ball joint, but again I need a pickle fork for that. The connector bolt here, that is off. I still need to maybe take a wire brush or hit this again with WD-40. This is not coming off, or it's not coming off very easily, so yeah. That's where we're at right now. Guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. I would have liked to have gotten further, but if you're thinking about doing a project, a 20-year-old car in the 90s or even older, I mean, you got to expect rust and seized bolts and what have you. And that's what I'm running into now, and it's just, I've been out here for 2 hours and I really didn't get as much as I wanted done, completed. But you just tackle a little bit at a time, and you know, ultimately you'll win the battle. So yeah, I jumped the gun saying that we would get the POR 15 laid down in the last video. Like I said, it's taking longer than I expected, but we'll get there. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit those post notifications to catch the next one when it comes out. Alright? Later.